We extend you the warmest welcome to the Hyatt Regency Grand Reserve, Puerto Rico.
Saludos, I'm Yolanda Carlo from Dragonfly Global Destination Services. We are extremely excited to have this amazing opportunity to showcase Puerto Rico through art. Today, we have Daniela Cintron, our special guest, that will will do a walkthrough with you during this great activity. I should say that we are very grateful to the partners that make all this possible, to say Discover Puerto Rico, Condado Vanderbilt Resort, Hyatt Regency Grand Reserve. I just want to make sure that in order that you enjoy the most this great event, make sure you put your, everybody's in mute, and let us know where you're from. In the meantime, you can let us know where we have people from New York, New Jersey, Texas, California visiting us today. I should mention, Puerto Rico is ready for great meetings. We're working very hard in letting you know that we've been planning with the safety measures in making everything possible for you to visit us. So today, we're going to introduce you to Rita, that she's going to have a few words with you in the great benefits and advantages of going through Discover Puerto Rico for your events.
Wonderful. Thank you, Yolanda. Bienvenidos to Puerto Rico in full color. I'm Rita Lopez with Discover Puerto Rico, and we're thrilled to collaborate with our amazing destination partners from Dragonfly, Global DMC, the Condado Vanderbilt, and the Hyatt Regency Grand Reserve. Just like colors on a palette, Puerto Rico has a wide range of options to accommodate all programs and exceeds everyone's expectations. Soon enough, we'll be able to join us and enjoy in person all the beautiful colors of Puerto Rico. But in the meantime, we want to share it with you through this hybrid event. And yes, Puerto Rico is ready for hybrid events. Studios like this, like the ones that you're experiencing today, are available at various hotels and the Puerto Rico Convention Center. We're ready to move and committed to move the hospitality industry forward. Color, culture, history, all of those things set Puerto Rico apart, but it's the resiliency of the people of Puerto Rico that really makes it so special. We are ready to write the next chapter in our comeback story. And believe us, we've done it a few times. Other reasons to book Puerto Rico, just like you know, is no passport requires. American citizens can live it at home. We have the same currency. And the wonderful thing, we are a domestic destination, but with a great international flair. And English is widely spoken throughout the island. Discover Puerto Rico, along with our partners here today, are here to assist you in every step of the way in creating the next masterpiece program in Puerto Rico. Gracias for joining us today. And the next time, we'll see you along with all your groups in Puerto Rico. Thank you, and we'll see you soon. Thank you, Yolanda.
No, my pleasure. Actually, we're so excited that we're here with you today. I want to introduce Militza Orama. She's actually from the Vanderbilt, Condado Vanderbilt. Militza, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon. I work at the amazing Condado Vanderbilt Hotel located in San Juan. We are an urban oceanfront luxury hotel built in 1919. You will see throughout the presentation that we're a historic hotel that offers modern amenities. So I hope you enjoy, and I look forward to welcome you.
Let's go into the Condado Vanderbilt.
On the Caribbean island of Puerto Rico. Avalanche, a particular favorite among cigar lovers, offering high-end brands for guests to enjoy. The hotel offers breathtaking views of the Atlantic Ocean while sunbathing by the pool. With the Atlantic Ocean as backdrop, Hola Oceanfront Bistro provides exquisite and unique flavors of Puerto Rican cuisine. Tacos and Tequila is the first of its kind, launched in partnership with Tequila Patron. Condado Vanderbilt Hotel showcases two 11-story towers consisting of 323 guest rooms, including 80 Commodore suites and 40 Biltmore suites. Enjoy a cocktail or champagne with ocean views prior to your dinner. 1919 blends the experience of world-class dining with the flavor of locally sourced ingredients. Savor artisanal delicacies served freshly and with a contemporary flair from our kitchen to your table. The spa offers the generosity of time with experiences that bring powerful resorts through our unique methods. Every special event deserves an exquisite setting. Condado Vanderbilt Hotel provides accessible venues that suit every need. Experience utmost luxury at the Condado Vanderbilt Hotel. Enjoy our beautiful and unique Old San Juan City. From the largest rum distillery, UTV, enjoy horseback riding at the beach, our natural rainforest with gorgeous and unique waterfalls, and amazing flora and fauna, zip lining, ATV, deep sea fishing, sailing and snorkeling in our unique ecosystem, scuba and enjoy out-of-the-world marine life, cigar rolling in our tobacco farms, locally hand-painted art, and shop at our local souvenir shops.
Puerto Rico awaits you.
Puerto Rico awaits you. Puerto Rico awaits you at the Condado Vanderbilt. Thank you.
I'm sure that after this video, all of you want to be in Puerto Rico. So we hope, this is the start of a great planning. Before we go to introduce our other partners, I do want to make a statement to two special people that actually have supported us in our virtual events and always say present. I want to say to Megan Prescott and Leona, happy birthday the Puerto Rican way. So, cumpleaños, feliz, 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 cumpleaños, feliz, 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 cumpleaños, 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 feliz. I don't know if it's raining wherever you are after I was the leader of the song. So anyways, I wanted to introduce you now to Nereida Amador and Yomari Arturet from the Hyatt Regency Grand Reserve. We're actually at the Puerto Rico Ballroom in their property. Nereida, Yomari.
Thank you, Yolanda, for the introduction. And thank you, everyone, for making possible to join you, even if it's virtually, to visit you at your homes or perhaps your offices. And it is great that the technology is allowing this to happen. It's basically taking that distance and making it possible for us to see you. And it makes us feel like you are already here with us. It's great to have hybrid events as well to make this even a more, my apologies, to make this engaging with you.
And Nereida mentions technology, and let me just go into details of what that entails. As Yolanda mentioned, we have transported 34 meeting planners from all over U.S. to Puerto Rico right now. You are in the Puerto Rico Ballroom, where we offer state-of-the-art technology with integrated audiovisual equipment such as LCD projection and sound system. And hybrid meetings is not only our specialty. As a Hyatt Regency, we always say what our priority, safety first and well-being always.
And with that said, you will notice that our ballroom has been set up watching the necessary distancing and also linenless tables for your safety. Also for our safety here, everybody will be wearing masks for the exception of our artists who will have the pleasure of walking you through the great experience of becoming artists today. So with that said, we just want one last housekeeping note is to please use that chat box because we want you to stay engaged with us and we want to take advantage of having Daniela here with us. Thank you again and hope to see you soon.
Well, let's get ready. Make sure you have your hand-painted glasses from one of our local artisans as one of your gifts and have all your paint ready to make your unique artwork with Daniela. So we'll be coming back, but we'll leave you now with Daniela and let's get our fingers dirty. Daniela, go on.
Thank you,
Enjoy.
Yolanda. Hello, everyone. My name is Daniela Cintron. I'm an artist from Puerto Rico. I actually started painting when I was 14 years old. And now I'm here with you guys in this wonderful hybrid event. I have people here that are doing the class right in person with us. We see you. We see all of your faces. This is amazing. Mike Ferreira, I saw your cat. I love it. I love it. So let's do this. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So all of you received a kit with all of the materials. So let's go really quick over all those materials. So we're gonna start off with the acrylic paintings that we're actually going to be using throughout this class. You guys have 3 disposable paint pads where you will be placing the paint here and we'll be mixing our paints here before actually applying them into the canvas or on top of the canvas, I guess. We have 2 canvas sheets. One is completely white. It has nothing in them. This one is going to be important for you because you're gonna let all your fears run in this canvas. So if you are nervous, which you shouldn't be because this is for fun, this is for you guys, and this is an activity to relax. But just in case you're afraid of messing up, which you won't, you have this canvas sheet to practice a little bit at home before actually applying the official colors to the canvas. The other sheet you have is the actual drawing of the coconuts that we'll be painting today. Today, we decided to paint coconuts because You know, in Puerto Rico, coconuts are absolutely everywhere. It's in our cuisine, it's in our beverages, it's in our desserts, in our main dishes. If you walk outside right now, you'll see coconuts in the palm trees. So it's everywhere. So we thought it was a great idea to actually bring this to this activity. So we'll continue on. In the back of the invitation in your kit, you'll see a reference picture of the final result of your painting. As what it's supposed to, well, we'll get there soon. Okay. So, in addition, paper towels. You guys need paper towels. Let me see all your paper towels. Let me see them. Amazing. This is one of the most important materials that you will be using today, because this paper towel will help us maintain the color in its purest form and will allow it to not get muddy in the canvas. So we're gonna be cleaning our palette knives using paper towel. So it's very important to have it handy. And what else am I missing? Oh, hello, of course, our palette knives. So today we are going to be painting with a technique with using palette knives. This technique is not quite what you're used to. This technique consists of applying paint without a paintbrush. So no paintbrushes today. We're going to be using palette knives. This allows the paintings to be very rich in colors and very rich in textures. That is super important, because otherwise you would not obtain that result in your masterpiece. Also, side note, with the palette knives, you have very little control of what's going on in your canvas. I'll explain a little bit more. So for example, I made the exact same painting twice, and it is completely different. But it's used with the same colors, the same technique, the same drawing, and it is completely different. And the one that I'm going to be doing with you guys today is going to be completely different as well. Because with the palette knives, you will experience it. You don't have control over what the paint actually does within your canvas. So, okay, I guess I've been talking enough. Let's actually get our hands dirty, okay? Are you guys ready? Let me see a thumbs up. Awesome, guys. Woo! Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing is, well, actually, this is a side note and an observation for you guys to actually understand what I'm about to do. Okay, hopefully you guys can see the paint, the image of the coconuts. These are real coconuts. And in this image, the two colors that I can identify right now are yellow and green. Do you guys agree? Yes? Okay. This is important because this will lead the colors that we're going to be putting into our canvas. Without further ado, let's do it. Okay, I'm going to be using first medium yellow for our first coconut. We're going to be putting paint in our canvas pad. A good amount of yellow. Don't use it all because we'll need it for the 3 coconuts. That's important. All right. So the reason why we're starting off with yellow is because between green and yellow, yellow is the color that it's the lightest color. So, and this is painting 101. So right now, a drawing consists of different planes. I'll explain a little bit. Right now, the first plane, it's the object that's closest to you. So in this case, let's mark this up. I have a Sharpie. This will be, coconut number 1 will be the one furthest to my right. This coconut is the one closest to the surface. Therefore, it'll be the lightest one and the brightest one. Everything behind coconut number 1 will be darker. That way we create dimension throughout the painting. Coconut number 2 will be the one in the middle. So I'm gonna be referring to coconut 1, 2, and 3. That's why I'm explaining this a little bit. By the way, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to write in the chat. If I'm going too quickly, please let me know. Hey, Daniela, this is for you guys. So, okay, let me know. And
Daniela, yes,
coconut
there
number
is. Do
3
we use
will
the
be the
medium or the
remaining
lemon
coconut.
yellow?
Okay, so we're ready.
We have
So-
a question.
Being coconut number 1, the furthest to my right, the one that's closest to the surface, that means that it'll have the brightest colors. So the color base of this coconut will be yellow. So we're going to take this palette knife right here. It has like an indent, it has like a kite pointy shape. There's two of one. The shortest one that has more surface area to paint. Are we good? Let me see your palette knives. Beautiful. I see them, everyone. Awesome. Okay. So we are going to, okay. Before we start, we don't scrape the canvas. Do it lightly. Don't scrape it. I don't want to scrape it because if I scrape it, I get rid of the paint that I'm applying. So just do it lightly, okay? So this is the way we're doing it. I'm going to put paint in my palette knife, at the bottom of my palette knife. And just like that, I'm going to start applying the color right in the palette knife. I mean, right in the coconut.
Hi, Tony. How are you?
If you paint out of the lines, don't worry about it. This is no pressure, okay? Let's do this. If you pay close attention with every stroke you are painting right now, you are creating texture, and more texture. Does anyone have a question?
There was a question. Can you hear
In
us?
the chat? Are we good? Thumbs up.
Can you hear us?
I see someone trying to speak.
There's a question, yeah.
Let me know.
Which yellow do you want to use? The lemon yellow or the medium?
The medium yellow.
Okay.
We're using the medium yellow. We continue painting, putting color, full color with it throughout the entire coconut. Don't worry about it if you pass the lines. Don't worry about it. Just make sure the entire coconut is being painted. And have fun with the texture. Every stroke is a different texture, so just have fun with it. Me personally, I'm gonna add a little bit of white because unfortunately, this is black. Because unfortunately, I wrote on my coconuts and the yellow is not covering it. But you continue with the yellow. So that we mix it. There we go. Awesome. Okay, when you guys are ready, take a sip of sangria to get to the next step. Cheers. Okay, I see we're all ready, right? For the next step? Awesome, okay. So my next step is going to be to apply the color green. Once again, since this is on the first plane, we are going to add the lightest green, the brightest green. So we're going to be using light green. Do you guys have it? Let me see it. Light green, awesome. And we're going to do, okay, we are putting green in our color pad. Oh, and guys, this is where we're cleaning our palette knives. We want to get rid of that yellow. We're going to get rid of the yellow that's in our palette knives so that we get a clean color. Okay, once everyone's ready, we're going to be applying the color green to the left side of the coconut. So just like this. And lightly, don't scrape it off because if not, you scrape the first layer. And once you see it starting to mix with your yellow, you clean your palette knife. Just like that. And I'm cleaning my palette knife because I'm ready to apply the next color. Raise your palette knife once you're ready. If you guys have questions, let me know. Don't be shy. We're all ready then? Okay. This is where I put my own touch into the painting. So, can someone, okay, yeah, actually, write in the chat if you know how to create the color green by mixing which two colors?
Yellow and blue.
blue.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. So, with that in mind, the way I like to paint and the way I identify myself is that I like to see in the canvas the colors in its purest form. That means that's over the top of my green, I'm going to apply the color blue in its purest form because I want the spectator to know that I am using blue to create that color green. So we're going to be using the, I have no idea how to pronounce this. It's like the hello blue. It's the darkest blue of the two of them. So, but it's going to be details in blue. So we put them in the color pad. And with a clean palette knife, because we're applying a new color, I'm gonna take a little bit of blue and apply blue on top of my green, but not all of it. I don't wanna cover my green, but I want you to know that I am mixing the colors. I'm cleaning my palette knife because I started mixing the color with the green and the yellow behind, and I want to see the blue in its purest form. And once again, with every stroke, the painting continues to get thicker and with more texture. That's what we want. A little bit more blue just because. And look at that. All right. We're almost done with coconut number 1. Let me know when you guys are ready for the next step.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna unmute you. So let's say who's ready.
Ready.
All right, perfect. Okay, for the final one, the final color that we're going to be incorporating into this coconut is, so I'm gonna ask you, if I want to create a little bit more of dimension in the color yellow, what color in the rainbow comes next to yellow if I wanted to make a little bit of dark, a little bit of darker yellow? What's the next color in the color wheel?
Green.
Orange.
No.
Orange.
Orange. Who said orange? You got it. So, and the way you create orange is by mixing red and yellow. That means that we're going to take red in its purest form to add to our coconut, because I want you to know that although it is not orange, but we're making a reference that's orange in our coconut, or at least in my brain, I guess. So we're gonna do the crimson red. It's the darker of the reds. And we're going to add a detail of red to the coconut. To the right side of the coconut. We're gonna outline it to the right side. So just like this. I don't need more. I'm good with that. I like it like that. This is also for your personal taste. That's it. And since I'm done with coconut number 1, I'm gonna sip on my sangria.
We're seeing Cameron now. You've got quite the setup there. I love
All
it.
right, when you guys are ready, wait, I have like paint on my tongue. Okay, we're live. Okay, so we're going on to coconut number 2. Coconut number 2 is going to be darker because it's going to be behind coconut number 1. So instead of yellow, my base color is going to be green. So here we go. With a clean palette knife, because we just finished applying red, so, and I don't want red in my green. With a clean palette knife, we're going to incorporate, not the bright green, the darker green. So again, this word, I don't like it at all. It's like the PHT halo green. It's the darker of the two. We're going to do that that's going to be our base color of coconut number 2. So we apply the color to the canvas pad. We get our palette knife ready. And we apply it to the entire coconut number 2. Oh, by the way, the only reason why I'm painting on an easel is for you guys to view better what I'm doing. If not, I would be painting in a flat surface as well with you guys. So I am painting coconut number 2 with a darker green. Apply the darker green everywhere. Remember, each step of the painting is gonna get harder because I don't wanna mess with what's already painted. So I'm gonna be really careful to not mix my colors with the coconut number 1, okay? If you're starting to mix colors, don't worry, clean your palette knife with your paper towel, your best friend, and then you continue. And once again, if you mess up, if you are outside the lines, don't worry, I'm outside the lines too. And I am relaxed. So I continue. In an outward motion, it's actually better. So closest to coconut 1, out, out, out.
I also want to see some of those artists that are sitting there on the in the ballroom. I want to see what they're doing.
I want to see what they're doing too. Are you guys good here in the ballroom? Let's see, our floating camera will give you a tour of our classroom. Okay, I'm ready when you guys are. So our next detail is going to be in yellow. So we're going to add, actually, you know what? Let's be a little bit more adventurous. Let's use the yellow ochre. I think I pronounced that correctly. Is the darker to the right of your acrylic box? It's like a darker yellow. It's like a gold. Let's try to use that color. Let's see how it goes. I haven't used it, so it's okay. I can already tell I'm gonna like this yellow better. All right. We're gonna add a detail in this darker yellow or gold. And we're gonna do it in the left side of the coconut in the outline as well. I didn't love it and I wanna add even a brighter color, so I'm gonna add more of my yellow, of the medium yellow on top of that to create more dimension and more variation in colors. This is all about colors, remember. Beautiful. It's starting to mix with my green, so therefore I'm cleaning my palette knife and applying, then again, more yellow. Oh, I don't want it to mix. I'm wiping off my palette knife to keep the color pure, and then adding more yellow. I am done with this step. And in the same way that we added blue on top of our green in the coconut number 1, coconut number 2 deserves to have blue as well. So we are going to add more blue, but only outlining the where the two coconuts meet, so that you can really tell that they are being separated. Just a little bit, just a little bit. Remember to always wipe your paint palette. The painting is getting thick. Let's see. Okay, here we go. How's it going? Everyone here, do you guys have any questions here in the ballroom? Let me know. This is for you guys too. All right, are we good? Do you guys have questions right here in the screen?
Just unmute yourselves and jump in if you have any comments, any questions about the destination.
You're doing great.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay. In my opinion, we're gonna add a little bit of red as well. And this is going to be even less of the quantity of, okay, so we added a little bit of blue. Now we're gonna even add a little, even lesser of the amount of red. I just want to outline that coconut so that you know that there's a separation, you know? And once it starts mixing up, because there's a lot of color there, I wipe it off and I take pure red. And look at that. Now you can tell that there's two coconuts there. No blending allowed. And since I'm done with coconut number 2, I'm gonna have another sip. All right, let me know when you guys are ready to go on to coconut number 3. Coconut number 3 is going to have the base color of yellow. So yeah, let's apply yellow. I actually like the combination of the two yellows, the darker yellow first and the lighter yellow second. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do the yellow ochre first. And then I'm gonna add the medium yellow on top. So let's do that. With clean palette knives, always remember clean palette knives. And we're applying the color of the ochre yellow to the entire third coconut. Mine started blending, that means it's time for me to clean my palette knife. Texture, and more textures. All right, I'm applying the medium yellow. I'm already at the bottom of my little tube, and that's fine because this is the third coconut. We don't need more of this yellow for the rest of the painting, so it's okay. So
while Daniela is prepping her palette, I want to let everybody know that at the end of this event, we're going to be giving away 4 stays. So just get ready. We'll announce it. And it's going to be 2-night stays at the Hyatt and 2-night stays at the Vanderbilt. So if anybody's feeling lucky, stick around.
Okay, I already have my base yellow already ready to rumble. All right. So I'm cleaning my palette knife because the next step is going to be to separate the coconut number 3 from coconut number 2. Because right now there's no really enough definition. So I'm cleaning my palette knife because the next step is to add my fabulous green. And it's going to be the darker green. So the word that I don't like, green. The darker one. If I'm going too fast, please let me know. Unmute yourself. Don't worry. This is for you guys. So I'm going to apply the color green to the right side of my coconut. So the side that's closest to coconut number 2 in an outward motion. Look at this. Outward. Look at that. Boom. Ready to go. And you guys already know the steps. After my green, that means that if I apply green, that means that I'm applying the color blue on top of my green to make that pure color detail within my painting. So here I am applying the color blue, outlining the 2 coconuts, coconut number 2 and coconut number 3. There we go. You want to go a little crazy? Go a little crazy. And to even highlight more that detailed separation between the 2 coconuts, I'm going to add a little bit of red. After, of course, I clean my palette knife. Just to make that definition between the 3 coconuts really be seen. Just a little bit on top of the blue. And there we go. I'm done. I'm done with my 3 coconuts. Therefore, cheers. When you guys are ready, let me know.
I want to see Catherine's. She is so involved over there and she's saying it's a hot mess, but I'm sure it's art.
Hey, one of the first lessons I learned is that a mistake in art is the only place that a mistake is an opportunity. Sounds cheesy, I know, but it's really true, actually. So don't worry about it.
There she is. Wave to everybody, Catherine.
Look at those coconuts, Cameron.
Keep going at it.
All right, let's keep going. Okay, the next step is going to be to apply color to the entire canvas because it's going to be our background. So we're gonna be using a lot of white here. Don't use it all, please don't use it all because the last step is going to be the best step and it requires white. So we're gonna be using white, not all of it, but a good amount. And we're gonna continue using the PHT Halo Blue because I like this one better. So, but the application of this blue on top of this white, please let it be a drop. The most little drop ever seen because the goal here is to create a baby blue. So I'm gonna add a little bit. There we go. And you'll see that that's gonna be enough. So here we go. We start mixing the colors within the paint pad, just like this. You see, it's enough blue. That's why we have to be careful. It's better to add less blue rather than more blue. So, okay, I'm ready with my colors already mixed. It's beautiful, baby blue. Oof, beautiful. And now we're going to apply it to our negatives. Our negatives would be, so in between, right now, these lines are the stems of the palm tree. So we're gonna add them in between. So for example, here to the left of the canvas, apply it all of it.
There's some questions on the chat, and it's great that everybody's asking. We are waiting for new updated information from the government tomorrow, Friday the 13th. Hopefully, it's all good news. And but in the meantime, the hotels are actually open. We have some of the hotels here, so feel free to jump in. We're 50% capacity. Spas are open, pools are open, the beach, of course. And then 50% of the capacity is depending on what. Dining is open. If you need something more in specific, let me know, and we'll jump right in. All you guys are getting all involved and doing all these beautiful masterpieces.
Mike had a question about the food. Sounds like in Vegas is lunchtime. I went with mofongo, but obviously there's a lot more. Rita, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Me too. And since we're painting coconut, I was telling Mike, hey, coconut water with a splash of Puerto Rican rum will seal the deal. Of course, the sangria is fantastic, but you can't have Puerto Rico and rum not be on the same sentence. Mofongo is great. Coconut, it's also wonderful. They make rice with the coconut water, or just like the shaving of the coconut. Coconut flan, it's one of my favorite. That's a dessert. It's custard. So we do everything with coconut and plantain. And guess what? They're sustainable. So it's fantastic. And one thing that we wanted to mention throughout today's activity is that, supporting Daniela as a Puerto Rican young artist, it's something that we wanted to do. The hand-painted glasses that you received as well are from a local artist. And the same thing, the painting, everything came with a lot of love from Puerto Rico.
Glass is amazing, by the way.
Okay, sorry. Continue speaking. Who was gonna speak?
Oh, that's right. You can't. How you're talking about coconut and not talk about coquito? Thank you, Gloria, for bringing that up. We're heading into the holidays, and it's not a Puerto Rican holiday without coquito. Coquito is made out of coconut cream, of course, plenty of rum. It's our version of an eggnog.
And the last question Mike had about the what would you recommend, or the top excursions in the island? I know I can think of a few, but honestly, there's just so much to do. And the great thing is that you could probably accomplish a lot within one day, which is unique to Puerto Rico. You can be at the beach on one end of the island and then go kayaking in the bioluminescent bay in the evening. And that is one of the most stunning things you'll ever see in your life. But expert Rita will tell you more about it.
I agree with you 100%. It's a trip to Puerto Rico without visiting the El Yunque rainforest. Is the only one in the U.S. National Forest System, and it's a rainforest. Of course, it rains, it's lush, and it's beautiful to see it come back alive. So the rainforest is top for me. The Bio Bay as well. There's 7 in the world, 5 are in Puerto Rico, and they're as vibrant as ever. It's an amazing opportunity. But of course, you can't go to Puerto Rico and not go to Old San Juan and walk the beautiful cobblestone streets and just immerse yourself in 500 years of history. So you have all this wonderful history, but then you can go into a great foodies restaurant, or even a McDonald's on the corner in a beautiful colonial building with like French ironwork on the balcony. So it's truly a melting pot of all the cultures and places that have influenced Puerto Rico. You'll experience that all in Old San Juan. And the wonderful thing that you saw today, we pretty much showcased 2 wonderful properties. You saw the beautiful Condado Vanderbilt in the heart of Condado, and then we took you all the way to the East Coast to the beautiful Hyatt Regency Grand Reserve. It's a town and country sort of experience. So you saw 2 beautiful hotels about 30 to 40 minutes apart, and they're both on the same beautiful North Shore of Puerto Rico. Gloria, You've been to Puerto Rico before. She knows a lot. Wow,
Okay,
it's beautiful.
so
My
once you guys
father
are
was
ready
born
with
there.
your background painted, we're going to get to the stems of the actual palm tree. So actually, yeah, okay. We are going to use as a base color for this, the darkest of the greens. So we are going to use, and actually for this one, we can switch our palette knife and use one of the longer ones, but with the one with the rounder edge. That'll be a good one so that you can really get that linear motion. So there's too much color in this color pad, so I'm just gonna do a new one. Oh wait, but I actually have green here. Okay, cool. I'm gonna continue using this one.
While Daniela gives, talks about the art, I want to mention something about the excursions. Just to let you know that Puerto Rico has so much to show off. Not only you can go to the rainforest, and enjoy the waterfalls, but you can also go horseback riding, ATV, and see the rainforest in a very different way. Even zip lining, you can do it from a bird's eye view. Also, our natural resources are amazing. Snorkeling, you can go anywhere in the world, but when you come to Puerto Rico, you will definitely say there's a difference. I also want to let Jomari has a question for Daniela. So go ahead, Jomari.
Yes, Daniela.
Yes.
We were talking before the event began that you are in Miami, just recently relocated. But I wanted to learn more about the inspiration and how the art came into play in your daily life.
Okay, so good question. So I started painting when I was in high school, and I wasn't expecting much of it. I mean, it was an elective in high school, so how good could it get? Well, I was wrong. The art teachers over there, or over here, were amazing, and I fell in love with painting right off the bat. And so I went to school for interior design. So that's actually my full-time job. Um, I work for Royal Caribbean Cruises, so I design cruises. I design the interiors of cruises. So art is really has been present really for a very long time now, and even the finishing touches in interior design is art. You put art once if you see the space and you need a little bit of color and a little bit of pop, more detail, you always refer to art, some sort of art. So yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Actually, we're going to do an announcement for our first two winners. We have Mike Ferreras, one of our winners for staying at the Hyatt Regency Grand Reserve. That is inclusive of round trip transfers and 2 activities. So make sure you start your planning, Mike.
Awesome.
Also, the second winner is Ashley Lawrence. Is our second winner for the Hyatt Regency Grand Reserve. Ashley, start packing so
Thank
you
you
can
so
come and
much.
join us. So make sure, obviously, to send us. We have your addresses and your email. We'll be sending the information. So there's two more to go. Make sure you stay tuned.
Yes, don't go anywhere.
Go ahead, Daniela.
Oh, we're continuing?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Sorry, we're live, people. Okay, so I've already painted most of my stems. We're using the darker green color as a base for those stems. So, and to create more dimensionality to those stems, I'm going to try and add this burnt sienna. It's a burnt sienna, and I'm going to add it to add a little bit more of dimension to it. But it's going to be very little. And we're going to be adding the burnt sienna to all of the stems to do like a line as an outline, but to the right of that stem. For example, I'll show you right now. This is how I'm doing my outline. Starting to mix, so I'm cleaning my paint palette, my palette knife. Just like that. I clean my palette knife and then I go to my other stem, and again to the right side of the stem, I'm going to add that burnt sienna. And then to my third one, that burnt sienna is going on the right side. And just like that, you're going to start seeing a little bit more of dimensionality or dimension. I don't know if dimensionality is a word. Okay. And the same way that we added a dark outline, we're going to add a lighter outline. And we're going to be doing that lighter outline with, actually, I'm trying to decide versus the light green or the white. What do you guys think? Should it be light green, white, light green, white? I'm gonna do white, decided. Okay, so a little bit of white. Don't use it all because we're still going to use it at the end. We are going to add the same outline we added with the burnt sienna. We're going to add it on the left side of each stem. Just like that. Are you guys doing good here? Sort of. Oh no.
Jump in, unmute yourselves. We want to hear you. You're all too quiet.
That's what I like to hear.
I'm listening to Mark
purchase your
Anthony.
art?
Thanks for the suggestion.
Your art for sale?
Mike, did you ask something? I think you cut off.
I just wondered if she sells her artwork.
Yes, I do actually. I am currently doing, most of my time I'm spending now is actually doing custom orders, so commissions. But I actually do paint, I'm selling my past artwork that I've done. But currently I'm doing mostly commission because that's what's taking most of my time. Once I have time to actually paint what I want to paint, I'll sell those as well. So for the palm tree to the right, so the palm tree's leaf to the right, so this one that I'm pointing at right here, we're going to cover it completely with the darker green. So not just the stem, the entire area that I left in white or blank, not white.
Have you ever done painting at an event where you have a huge canvas and kind of paint the feelings or surroundings of the event?
You mean like live painting? Like if someone stands in front of me and I paint them? No,
or I just don't. Like that there's an event going on and you're just making something beautiful based on like the feel or the vibe of the area.
Maybe our next event will be me painting you guys. I think you guys will be disappointed.
I just want to make a note that Mike Ferreira is going to the Condado Vanderbilt. So I was supposed to do two people for two different hotels. So I apologize. But Mike, Melissa will be expecting you at the Condado Vanderbilt.
Hello, Mike.
The next two that we're going to give away, obviously, is one additional at the Condado Vanderbilt and the other one at the Hyatt. So we'll bring those winners in a little while. We're almost there.
We look forward to welcome you. Thank you.
All right, as we continue to paint our palm leaves, I know they don't look quite as palm leaves yet, but don't worry, we're gonna get there. There's like a how do you call that? There's one that is shaped that is going like the opposite direction of the rest of the stems. That one we're gonna paint in that burnt sienna. That's going to be the base color of that palm leaf. So we're gonna add it right there. Just to add a little bit more variation. Our palm trees have a lot of variations and we're respecting that. And that way we have a little bit more fun. This is where I told you guys that it can get a little messy because the entire canvas is wet. So this is where you have to be careful and really make that paper towel your best friend. And the same way we create a little bit of highlights in the other stems, I'm gonna add, what's gonna be the lucky color? I'm gonna use that darker, the yellow ochre. I'm gonna use that to add a little bit of outline and create a little bit more of dimension to that stem, to that burnt sienna stem.
Can we see some of the artwork? Everybody looks very into it. I mean, ooh, look at that.
Cameron.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Evelina, beautiful.
Love it.
You guys are almost done.
I love it. Oh, look at you, Ernesto.
Look at that.
Wow, I'm a proud mama.
Yes.
All right, we're getting to the finishing touches. Give me 5 more minutes, I will be done. I promise you. Okay, so with that, the yellow ochre, we're going to add an outline to create a little bit more of dimension to that burnt sienna stem.
Once your art is dried and it looks amazing, and you could please, I mean, I would ask you to tag us on social media. I have to plug in our our Instagram account, so please tag us at Dragonfly Global DMC on Instagram or Facebook. So it'd be great to see what your final masterpiece looks like, and we want to feature you. So just a little note there on that.
And in the case of Sarah, we want to see the before and after her working area.
Okay, now we're going to, after the stems, we're leaving the stems at that. We're gonna come back to them in 2 seconds. We're gonna put the base color of that burnt sienna, that brown looking color, to the actual trunk of the palm tree. We can't forget about that.
While you are concentrated in painting, obviously these coconuts, make sure you have a sip of your sangria that has a splash of coconut so you can get into the feeling of your painting. Cheers.
Okay, now this is where we're going to take advantage of this technique. So we're going to take the palette knife that has the longest, it's like a little bit more pointier, like that. And with the side of the palette knife, we're going to apply a little bit of white. Don't exhaust the white, we're still not done with our white. So take a little bit. And we are going to put paint right on the side, just like this, gently on the side of our palette knife. And we're gonna create straight lines. This is how you create straight lines with palette knives. within to our palm leaf that is furthest to the right. So this is how it's going to look. And I want a little bit more white detail, so I'm gonna add a little bit more of it to the side of that paint, of that palette knife, so that we can see it. No, you have this, you have this. Okay, okay guys, we have 4 minutes, people. So I'm gonna be moving a little bit quicker. With that same palette knife that is sharp and long, this is where you can do fun stuff with palette knife painting that otherwise with painting with brushes, you couldn't. So for this next step that we're actually doing the palm leaves from the rest of the stems, we're not using any paint. We're going to be using the paint that's already wet on my canvas. So this is how we're going to do it. We're in an outward motion. We're going from the stem outward, 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 outward. And we're creating that sensation, oh, that there's a palm tree. Don't worry if the colors are starting to mix. You clean your palette knife. We're mixing colors here. And the same thing we're going to be doing for the rest of the stems. And if it's not enough color, don't worry. Is it illusion or the illusion of the leaves are there? So right there, like that. We're almost done, people. We're almost done. Those are my beautiful palm trees. Now, this is where the painting will actually, you know, take its form and you're gonna say like, wow, I like this. Or hopefully you say, wow, I like this. So we're going to go back with the palette knife that we were painting since in the beginning. And this is where we're going to apply our beautiful white. White is my absolute favorite color in paintings because it just lets the entire painting pop. And this is where we're going to actually really emphasize the highlights and the dimensions of the entire painting. So with that being said, I'm going to be applying white to all of my coconuts. Pick a side, any side. I'm gonna pick the left side of my coconuts, except I'm coconut number 1 that I'm gonna do it in the middle. So for example, I'm going to add my whites here. Look at that, simple. Then to coconut number 2, I'm gonna do it on the left side. And I wipe it off because this is, I don't want it to get muddy. And on coconut number 3, same thing. Boom. There it is. We add some highlights to the trunk as well on one side of the trunk. And to our absolute final step, we're going to use one of the longer palette knives, and with the color black, we're going to emphasize where the objects meet. So that outline of those objects is where we're going to apply the black. So for example, where coconut number 1 and coconut number 2 meet, I already added an outline in black. Where coconut number 2 and coconut number 3 meet, I'm gonna add an outline in black. This creates the dimension of it. In my palm leaves, I'm going to add a little bit of black in the stem, in the root of the stem. Don't be afraid of it. If it's messy, well, that's the style. And for our final step, we're going to add a detail in black to the bottom of those coconuts. It's going to be a drop. So like this. Drop number 1, drop number 2, and then drop number 3. And once this is dry, remember to sign your coconuts right on the left bottom with your name, because you were the artist today. Not me, you were the artist. So thank you guys so very much for joining me, for joining us today in this fabulous hybrid event. It was an honor to be your teacher today. I want to see all of you guys' coconuts, not in a dirty way, please. It's a painting. All of you guys' paintings, please.
Okay, this has been amazing. Let us know if you've enjoyed. I want to announce the other winners that we have. We have Jamie Reed for the Vanderbilt, and we have Gloria Morse and Colleen Ruth for the Hyatt Regency. So we're extremely excited.
That's so awesome. Thank you.
I hope you have enjoyed. If you have any questions, this is the moment to do the questions. Let us know if you enjoyed this experience. There's another one coming for December 1st where you will learn how Puerto Rico celebrates the holiday. So make sure you tune into our Instagram so you don't miss it. If there's any questions before we go, who's running the chat? Any questions?
Yeah, how do you get paint off your computer?
Well,
Little bit of alcohol.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
A little bit of alcohol on a towel.
Well, you should have your sangria next to you. It has rum, sparkling wine, and obviously coconut within the delights that it's. There you go. There you go. I just want to thank you all. For us, this is an amazing and superb privilege of having you today. Hopefully you enjoy, and just a note, every time you see your artwork, think about Puerto Rico, plan for Puerto Rico awaits you. Thank you from the bottom of our heart. Have a blessed day.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.